Hello, lovely ladies. Happy Tuesday. Yes, happy Tuesday from Sebastian. Bassy, you want to say hi? Huh? Nope, just want to give it a big old stretch. Oh, old man stretch. He's going to go have liver x-rays this afternoon. Blood work and liver x-rays. Right, aren't ya? Make sure you're not growing things that don't belong. Erica, in the free Facebook group, so as part of the free week, you should have gotten a link in your email. I've sent it a few times actually to make sure that people got it. So check for your email for links to the Facebook group. There's a button to click to join the group. And once you're in the group, everything is posted in there and all the questions are in there as well. Tabitha, this is the Bible we use. I'm going to go for Mother's Day to the Bible store because we got a 30% off coupon, and I'm going to go get the leather version because I found it. It's the 1 Year Chronological Expressions Bible is the one I use. It would be I assume all the chronological Bibles that are NLT would be the same. But this is the one we use, the Expressions. It's like $16 on Amazon. And I've worn her down. And then we do a different devotional every day, depending on, always have to find authors that are willing to let me read their books live, which is a challenge. And I have a bunch from this awesome lady, Rhonda K. Holland. We're reading those right now. I got to figure out which one we're going to do next. This dog is being a snuggle monster this morning, aren't you, buddy? He said, I heard blood work and x-rays and it's stressing me out. So I'm going to come over there and cuddle. All right. We are on, hi, bud, April 29th. David escapes through the wilderness, 2 Samuel 17, 15 through 29. Hushai told Zadok and Abiathar the priest what Ahithophel had said to Absalom and the elders of Israel and what he himself had advised instead. Quick, he told them, find David and urge him not to stay in the shallows of the Jordan River tonight. He must go across at once into the wilderness and beyond. Otherwise, he will die and his entire army with him. Easy, buddy, easy. Jonathan and Ahimaaz had been staying at En-Rogel so as not to be seen entering and leaving the city. Arrangements had been made for a servant girl to bring them the messages they were to take to King David. But a boy spotted them at En-Rogel, and he told Absalom about it. So they quickly escaped to Bahurim, where a man hid them down inside a well in his courtyard. The man's wife put a cloth over the top of the well and scattered grain on it to dry in the sun, so no one suspected they were there. When Absalom's men arrived, they asked her, have you seen Ahimaaz and Jonathan? The woman replied, they were here, but they crossed over the brook. Absalom's men looked for them without success and returned to Jerusalem. Then the two men crawled out of the well and hurried to King David. Quick, they told him, cross the Jordan tonight. And they told him how Ahithophel had advised that he be captured and killed. So David and the people with him went across the Jordan River during the night, and they were all on the other bank before dawn. Ahithophel realized that his advice had not been followed. He saddled his donkey, went to his hometown, set his affairs in order, and hanged himself. He died there and was buried in the family tomb. David soon arrived at Mahanaim. By now, Absalom had mobilized the entire army of Israel and was leading his troops across the Jordan River. Absalom had appointed Amasa as commander of his army, replacing Joab, who had been commander under David. Amasa was Joab's cousin. His father was Jether, an Ishmaelite. His mother, Abigail, daughter of Nahash, was the sister of Joab's mother, Zeruiah. Absalom and the Israelite army set up camp in the land of Gilead. When David arrived at Mahanaim, he was warmly greeted by Shobi, son of Nahash, who came from Rabbah of the Ammonites, and by Makir, son of Amiel, from Lo-debar, and by Barzillai, a Gilead from Rogelim. They brought sleeping mats, cooking pots, serving bowls, wheat and barley, flour and roasted grain, beans, lentils, honey, butter, sheep, goats, and cheese for David and for those who were with him. For they said, "You must all be very hungry and tired and thirsty after your long march through the wilderness." Psalm 3, a psalm of David regarding the time David fled from his son Absalom. Is this now the appropriate time to play? Really? Is now the time? Can we take a pause, please, and play after? Oh Lord, or whoops, did I read that? Yeah, no, I did. Oh Lord, I have so many enemies. So many are against me. So many are saying, God will never rescue him. But you, O Lord, are a shield around me. You are my glory, the one who holds my head high. I cried out to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy mountain. I lay down and slept, yet I woke up in safety, for the Lord was watching over me. I am not afraid of 10,000 enemies who surround me on every side. Arise, O Lord, rescue me, my God. Slap my enemies in the face, shatter the teeth of the wicked. Victory comes from you, O Lord. May you bless your people. Psalm 63, a psalm of David regarding the time when David was in the wilderness of Judah. O God, you are my God. I earnestly search for you. My soul thirsts for you. My whole body longs for you in this parched and weary land where there is no water. I have seen you in your sanctuary and gazed upon your power and glory. Your unfailing love is better than life itself. How I praise you. I will praise you as long as I live, lifting up my hands to you in prayer. You satisfy me more than the richest feast. I will praise you with songs of joy. I lie awake thinking of you, meditating on you throughout the night, because you are my helper. I sing for joy in the shadow of your wings. I cling to you. Your strong right hand holds me securely. But those plotting to destroy me will come to ruin. They will go down in the depths of the earth. They will die by the sword and become the food of jackals. But the king will rejoice in God. All who swear to tell the truth will praise him, while liars will be silenced. Absalom's defeat and death, 2 Samuel 18, 1 through 18. David now mustered the men who were with him and appointed generals and captains to lead them. He sent troops out in 3 groups, placing one group under Joab and one under Joab's brother Abishai, son of Zeruiah, and one under Ittai, the man from Gath. The king told his troops, I am going out with you. But his men objected strongly. You must not go, they urged. If we have to turn and run, and even if half of us die, it will make no difference to Absalom's troops. They will be looking only for you. You are worth 10,000 of us, and it is better that you stay here in the town and send help if we need it. If you think that's the best plan, I'll do it, the king answered. So he stood alongside the gate of the town as all the troops marched out in groups of hundreds and thousands. And the king gave this command to Joab, Abishai, and Ittai, For my sake, deal gently with young Absalom. And all the troops heard the king give this order to his commanders. This is a long one today. So the battle began in the forest of Ephraim, and the Israelite troops were beaten back by David's men. There was a great slaughter that day, and 20,000 men laid down their lives. The battle raged all across the countryside, and more men died because of the forest than were killed by the sword. During the battle, Absalom happened to come upon some of David's men. He tried to escape on his mule, but he rode beneath the thick branches of a great tree, and his hair got caught in the tree. His mule kept going and left him dangling in the air. I bet that felt good. One of David's men saw what had happened and told Joab, I saw Absalom dangling from a great tree. What? Joab demanded. You saw him there and didn't kill him? I would have rewarded you with 10 pieces of silver and a hero's belt. I would not kill the king's son for even 1,000 pieces of silver, the man replied to Joab. We all heard the king say to you and Abishai and Ittai, For my sake, please spare young Absalom. And if I had betrayed the king by killing his son, and the king would certainly find out who did it, you yourself would be the first to abandon me. Enough of this nonsense, Joab said. Then he took the 3 daggers and plunged them into Absalom's heart as he dangled, still alive, in the great tree. 10 of Joab's young armor-bearers then surrounded Absalom and killed him. Then Joab blew the ram's horn, and his men returned from chasing the army of Israel. They threw Absalom's body into a deep pit in the forest and piled a great heap of stones over it, and all of Israel fled to their homes. During his lifetime, Absalom had built a monument to himself in the king's valley, for he said, I have no son to carry on my name. He named the monument after himself, and it is known as Absalom's monument to this day. David mourns Absalom's death, 2 Samuel 18, 19 through 33. Then Zadok's son, Ahimaaz, said, "Let me run to the king with the good news that the Lord has rescued him from his enemies." "No," Joab told him, "it wouldn't be good news to the king that his son is dead. You can be my messenger another time, but not today." Then Joab said to the man from Ethiopia, "Go and tell the king what you have seen." The man bowed and ran off. But Ahimaaz continued to plead with Joab, "Whatever happens, please let me go too." Why should why should you go, my son? Joab replied. "There will be no reward for your news." "Yes, but let me go anyway," he begged. Joab finally said, "All right, go ahead." So Ahimaaz took the less demanding route by way of the plain and ran to Mahanaim, ahead of the Ethiopian. While David was sitting between the inner and outer gates of the town, the watchman climbed to the roof of the gateway by the wall. As he looked, he saw a lone man running toward him. He shouted the news down to David, and the king replied, "If he is alone, he has news." As the messenger came closer, the watchman saw another man running towards them. He shouted down, "Here comes another one." The king replied, "He will also have some news." "The first man runs like Ahimaaz, son of Zadok," the watchman said. He is a good man and comes with good news," the king replied. Then Ahimaaz cried out to the king, "Everything is all right." He bowed before the king with his face to the ground and said, "Praise the Lord your God, who has handed over the rebels who dared to stand against my lord the king." "What about young Absalom?" the king demanded. "Is he all right?" Ahimaaz replied, "When Joab told me to come, there was a lot of commotion, but I don't know what was happening." "Wait here," the king told him, so Ahimaaz stepped aside. Then the man from Ethiopia arrived and said, "I have good news for the Lord, my lord the king. Today they have rescued you from all of those who rebelled against you." "What about young Absalom?" the king demanded. "Is he all right?" And the Ethiopian replied, "May all of your enemies, my lord the king, both now and in the future, share the fate of that young man." The king was overcome with emotion. He went up to the room over the gateway and burst into tears. As he went, he cried, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom, if only I had died instead of you. Oh, Absalom, my son, my son." Joab rebukes the king, 2 Samuel 19, 1 through 14. Word soon reached Joab that the king was weeping and mourning for Absalom. As all the people heard the king's deep grief for his son, the joy of that day's victory turned into deep sadness. They crept back into the town that day as though they were ashamed and had been deserted in battle. The king covered his face with his hands and kept on crying, "Oh, my son Absalom, oh, Absalom, my son, my son." Then Joab went to the king's room and said to him, "We saved your life today and the lives of your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your concubines. Yet you act like this, making us feel ashamed of ourselves. You seem to love those who hate you and hate those who love you. You made it clear today that your commanders and troops mean nothing to you. It seems as if Absalom had lived and all of us had died, you would be pleased. Now go out there and congratulate your troops, for I swear by the Lord that if you don't go out, not a single one of them will remain here tonight. Then you will be worse off than ever before." So the king went out and took his seat at the town gate. And as the news spread throughout the town that he was there, everyone went to him. Meanwhile, the Israelites who had supported Absalom fled to their homes. And throughout all the tribes of Israel, there was much discussion and argument going on. The people were saying, "The king rescued us from our enemies and saved us from the Philistines, but Absalom chased him out of the country. Now Absalom, whom we anointed to rule over us, is dead. Why not ask David to come back and be our king again?" Then David sent Zadok and Abiathar the priests to say to the elders of Judah, "Why are you the last ones to welcome back the king into his palace? For I have heard that all of Israel is ready. You are my relatives, my own tribe, my own flesh and blood. So why are you the last ones to welcome back the king?" And David told them to tell Amasa, "Since you are my own flesh and blood, like Joab, may God strike me and even kill me if I do not appoint you as commander of my army in his place." Then Amasa convinced all the men of Judah, and they responded unanimously. They sent word to the king, "Return to us and bring back all who are with you." David's return to Jerusalem, 2 Samuel 19, 15 through 18a. So the king started back to Jerusalem, and when he arrived at the Jordan River, the people of Judah came to Gilgal to meet him and escort him across the river. Shimei, son of Gera, the man from Bahurim in Benjamin, hurried across with the men of Judah to welcome King David. 1,000 other men from the tribe of Benjamin were with him, including Ziba, the chief servant of the house of Saul, and Ziba's 15 sons and 20 servants. They rushed down to the Jordan to meet the king. They crossed the shallows of the Jordan to bring the king's household across the river, helping him in every way they could. David's mercy to Shimei, 2 Samuel 19, 18b through 23. As the king was about to cross the river, Shimei fell down before him. My lord, the king, please forgive me, he pleaded. Forget the terrible thing your servant did when you left Jerusalem. May the king put it out of his mind. I know how much I have sinned. That is why I have come here today, the very first person in all of Israel to greet my lord the king. Then Abishai, son of Zeruiah, said Shimei should die, for he cursed the Lord's anointed king. Who asked your opinion, you sons of Zeruiah? David exclaimed. Why have you become my adversary today? This is not a day for execution, for today I am once again the king of Israel. Then, turning to Shimei, David vowed, your life will be spared. David's kindness to Mephibosheth, 2 Samuel 19, 24 through 30. Now Mephibosheth, Saul's grandson, came down from Jerusalem to meet the king. He had not cared for his feet, trimmed his beard, or washed his clothes since the day the king left Jerusalem. Why didn't you come with me, Mephibosheth? The king asked. Mephibosheth replied, My lord the king, my servant Ziba deceived me. I told him, saddle my donkey so I can go with the king. For as you know, I am crippled. Ziba has slandered me by saying that I refuse to come. But I know that my lord the king is like an angel of God. So do what you think is best. All my relatives and I could only expect death from you, my lord, but instead you have honored me by allowing me to eat at your own table. What more can I ask? You've said enough, David replied. I've decided that you and Ziba will divide your land equally between you. Give him all of it, Mephibosheth said. I am content just to have you safely back again, my lord the king. All right. I was full of it this morning. All right. He acts like a toddler. All right, we are on page 68 under Points to Ponder. During the time of preparing this study, I have had Sebastian! I have had many unexpected personal battles arise, and some have been fierce. I have felt pressed on every side. I have asked God to help me in these very areas we are discussing in Shut the Door. As I began preparing to write this study, I felt the Lord ask me a question in a time of prayer and meditation. Will you be the same in your time of pressing as you are in your time of blessing? I wanted to respond with a resounding yes, but I felt His Spirit gently reminding me that I must be prepared to put to test some of the very things I am teaching throughout this study. In my own battles, even now as I write, I am asking God to allow me to always have a teachable spirit that will enable me to practice what I preach. When we are pressed, what is in us is what comes forth. I desire to pursue God as never before in the heat of my battles. I desire that my words be life-giving for the sake of those I know and love, and so that my own faith will increase. I want praise to come forth from my heart when I am on the mountain or in the deepest valley. I want to be able to say without reservation that I am the same in word and in deed during my times of pressing, just as I am in my times of blessing. The Shunammite woman is certainly an example we can follow. I pray that others will be able to say the same about us. In this week's study, we have discussed the importance of a positive proclamation and a proactive pursuit of God. The Shunammite woman had both. She shut the door to the scheme and to the plot of the enemy. She proclaimed truth and not facts. She pursued God with determination. As you study this week, be mindful to ask God to increase your awareness of your words. Be constantly aware of what you say, both for your sake and for those hearing you. Ask Him to help you always pursue His presence and seek His counsel in times of blessing and times of pressing. Because you pursue Him and declare His word, no matter what you face, you will be able to proclaim, "It is well," and it will be. I will make a proclamation positive based on His word and promises. I will make my pursuit proactive and will not be passive about God's guidance in my life. Okay. They really are. They are permanent toddlers, golden retrievers. And then he gets tired and goes lie down for about 4 hours. And then he goes out and poops. So I guess it's really not a lot different than a toddler. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any of the chat. I graduated from walker to a cane. That's awesome. Can't wait to drive the car, but not ready yet. Feeling a lot better. Knee isn't hurting as much. That's awesome, Susan. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy that you're doing better. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and pray. God, our Father, we thank you for this day and this time you've given us together. I pray that you will help us be like the Shunammite woman, claiming it as well, despite difficulties and struggles, proclaiming you as God over our lives, both in the blessing and in the difficulties. God, I thank you for each woman here. We thank you that Susan is beginning to feel better. We praise you for that. And I pray for continued healing for her and strength. I pray for each and every woman here who is struggling today with something in their healthy eating journey, whether it's emotional eating or food addiction or the desire to quit. I just pray that you would heal each and every heart who is struggling with that today, strengthen us and help us to focus on you as the main point of our journey. God, I pray for each and every woman that joined the free group and all that they're learning and the connections that are being made. I just thank you and praise you for each and every one of them, and that you will just continue to bless them in their journeys. God, as we go through our day today, I pray that you will help us to make choices that are honoring to you, that are wise, that fuel our body well, strengthen our body, and prepare us for service to you, our God. In your precious name, amen. All right, my friends. Let's see, what time is it? It's 9 o'clock. I'm hungry. It's time to eat. What am I going to eat today? I'm going to the gym at 10:15. Actually, probably 9:50 because I got to walk on the treadmill first to warm up. Even though I already went for a 2-mile walk this morning. Yay! Look at me being all proactive. Doing 2 exercises in one day. So I don't know. I don't know what to eat this morning. I don't like to eat anything too heavy because I want to throw up. But I do need to eat. Maybe I'll just make something fun on toast and you can join me, and I will make sure that I can finish the toast in a short period of time. Maybe I'll make some egg toast, some egg white toast. Okay, we've moved over here with our carrot. That dog, Bassie, can you say hi? Beastie, say hi. Sebastian. Sebastian, look at me. Bassie, look at me. Bassie. Sebastian. Hey, guess what? Bassie, do you wanna? Yeah, that's what gets your attention. You say hi. Say hi to the people. I love you. Oh, the stupid carrot. The dog has 1.5 billion toys. Okay, and that one, when Marin got him that, I was like, Marin, he's not gonna play with that great big toy. I was so wrong. He plays with that thing more than anything. He carries it everywhere. He takes it to bed at night. It is absolutely, and we've bought him new toys since. He doesn't care. He wants that carrot. So, all right, girls, join me for breakfast. We'll make something with ketchup. Ketchup? Toast. I don't know why I just said ketchup. My brain doesn't always function like it should. I hope you'll join me there. It won't take me long to get ready because I got to get it done, get eaten before I leave. So I love you, girls. I hope you have a great day. And if I don't see you for breakfast, I will see you tomorrow.